Perhaps even more ambitious than some of Gershwin's early songs were the remarkable piano improvisations Gershwin would create spontaneously at New York parties, and which made his piano playing legendary. Gershwin had a natural talent for improvising, and thanks to the few electric recordings he made, one can hear these improvisations today. Listening carefully to them, they reveal very much a serious and imaginative mind at work, the mind of the composer George Gershwin, experimenting with his songs with a view to their potential development as musical ideas. Let's take a closer look at one of his improvisations on the song Sweet and Lowdown. First, here's the simple published song version. In Gershwin's wonderful improvisation on the song, recorded in 1926, he fills out the opening melody with some wonderfully bluesy harmony. And just as he reaches that high note, the pause on it gives Gershwin the perfect excuse to introduce some marvelous syncopations. Let me play you the hands separately so you can hear what's happening. The right hand is playing the rhythm emphatically straight, while the left hand's rhythm is all haywire. So together we get the syncopation. In the next chorus, Gershwin again introduces a complicated syncopation when he reaches the same point. If I play just the left hand of the syncopation, you'll hear how the pattern is grouped into threes. But the music's pulse is in twos. If I tap out the pulse on a single note in the right hand, you'll be able to hear the syncopation that the left hand pattern creates. Against this left hand, the right hand complicates matters by inserting trills on some of the left hand's offbeats. And remember, all this complication remains firmly inside Gershwin's head, as none of these improvisations were written down by him. When I first heard Gershwin's own recording of Sweet and Lowdown, it was the first time I'd ever heard Gershwin's piano playing, and I was bowled over by it. If you're not familiar with this style of playing, probably the first thing that will grab your attention is the rhythmic drive. This is partly encouraged by Gershwin's use of a stride bass, the left hand's insistent leaping. If I slow it down, you'll see that each bar begins with a large chord, usually a tenth with extra notes in between. The left hand then moves up to the middle of the keyboard to play a short, crunchy chord, then down to a low bass note, then back up to the middle of the keyboard. All this is played at great speed just by the left hand. Above this, the right hand plays the melody, usually in thick chords and octaves. The combination of a leaping bass and thick chords above gives the music a thick orchestral type texture and also makes it very difficult to play. Anyway, let's hear Gershwin's original 1926 recording of Sweet and Lowdown. Gershwin himself, improvising on his song Sweet and Lowdown, recorded in 1926,